Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Team Down TV's coverage of the CGO ladder. My name is Menace, and joining me tonight is Shiggy.
Yeah, g'day man. It's good to be back. It's been a long time since I've got to co-cast with you, so see how this game goes.
Yeah, man, get back into it, dust off the cobwebs. Same for me. It's been about a week since you guys have heard from me, so it's good to be back. Today we are covering the match between Team Elixir and the One-Legged Bandits. Team Elixir over on the blue side, One-Legged Bandits over on the purple/red side. And the bands have come out. We're halfway through the picks. We just want to make sure we fully got into the game before we started casting, so there'll be no delays there. So for Team Elixir, they have banned out Thresh, Twisted Fate, and Blitzcrank. Over on One-Legged Bandits, they have banned out Vi, Hecarim, and Zac. As for the picks so far, they have locked in over on Team Elixir, Sona, Volibear, and Misfortune. They are hovering over Lux and Lee Sin at the moment. Over there on One-Legged Bandits, they have locked in Zillion, Caitlyn, Nasus, and Kale. As Jace is locked in over there for the Team Elixir, and they're just going to get their last one. I think it's going to be Lux, sort of a poke composition coming out here, Shiggy.
Yeah, I'm loving Team Elixir's team comp. I mean, I'm not sure about the Zillion. I haven't seen Zillion played in a long time from One-Legged Bandits, but yeah, let's see how that one goes. I think it may not end out the best for them, but I'm excited for him to prove me wrong in this game.
I believe it's going to be a Zillion support, as we do have them switched around and everybody's locked in, so we should be able to show you those summoner spells. So Zillion having himself an exhaust, so Godot's going to be going mid with that Cassidon. Alright, I'm going to quickly run through the teams for you guys. Over on the blue team for Team Elixir, we're going to have up in top lane Jace being played by Rob Larcher. In the mid lane, Legend Key on that Lux. Down in bot lane, Misfortune being played by Castform92. And supporting her will be LOL WTF Goblin Barbecue on the Sona. And in the jungle, Jay Border playing a Volibear. Over on the red/purple team for One-Legged Bandits up in the top lane, they're going to have Kale running that teleport. That'll be a very interesting thing to see if we can get some cool ganks coming out from her. Down in the mid lane, they're going to have Cassidon being played by Godot Oz. Down in bot lane, Caitlyn being played by Vuka10, and accompanying him is Douchey being playing the Zillion, and in the jungle, Sass158 on the Nasus. We do head into the delay time, Shiggy, so you should be able to join, mate, and you'll be able to see, and we can talk about these team compositions. Now, over on Team Elixir, can you see their team, Shiggy?
Yeah, I can see the team, man, but I think I have to wait for the actual game time to go through for some reason.
Yeah, no worries. They have a more traditional team, do you think? You think compared to this, I guess, well, Zillion's only sort of strange one. Kale top is not very normal, as well as Cassidon. You know, it's not out of order, but you know, it's not commonly seen through the current meta. What do you think about the team makeups for both these guys, Shiggy?
Well, I reckon you're going to see Volibear a lot just with that early game presence on that Cassidon, because Cassidon's going to get focused a lot early game before he gets his ulti to be able to bail most of the time. So you're just going to see Volibear camp mid and top lane. And I feel if he gets a few kills, then Cassidon's going to be completely useless, and so is Kale for this game. So it's good. I'm loving Team Elixir's composition, but I feel the One-Legged Bandits are going to really struggle with their team comp in this.
They are sort of going for a late game presence, that's for sure. If they can even get to late game, they've got to get themselves through that laning phase. Cassidon's such a beast late game. Very good AP carry. Nasus as well, with his Wither being able to help out against the assassinating those ADCs on the enemy team, as well as Kale, also a very late game champion. Zillion falling off like a truck late game, but he will hopefully help out that Caitlyn become a beast. A few bombs from Zillion, I think, will definitely give them a bit of lane control, do you think, Shiggy? Do you think that Misfortune and Sona will have trouble against this Zillion?
Well, they do have a sustain from Sona, so it depends whether... And Sona is also really aggressive also, so it just depends whether Zillion can actually get in, get those bombs down and get away, or he'll just eat a bucket load of damage from Misfortune and Sona.
That he will. Barrier being run for both ADCs and exhaust for both of those supports. So it's going to be pretty standard that way No ignites. I like to run ignite when I go support. But yeah, the bands, they've banned out Thresh, man. Thresh is a very powerful champion right now. And Twisted Fate as well. Blitzcrank with his crazy, crazy hook. You can just pretty much turn any team fight around and you can come out on top. He changes games. Blitzcrank is a game changer. It depends on how you play him, I guess.
It also depends who you're against as well. I mean, personally myself, I probably wouldn't ban Blitz. Like, I'm not a big fan of banning out Blitzcrank. And if you just come up against a very good Blitzcrank, well then you've just got to learn to play around that. But I feel maybe these people struggle in the past against a Blitzcrank and get caught out too many times or too often, and it just might really hinder their team. So getting that big Blitzcrank out of the way is probably a good pick for them, or a good ban out.
Yeah, that's right, I guess. But I do agree, if you do have a Blitzcrank on the enemy team, if you just learn, the biggest counter would be for a Blitzcrank is to be thinking of him in your mind all the time. Where can I be grabbed from at this stage? It's easy to forget that sort of thing, his presence, especially if he's not in the team fights or in the area that you're in. But you've always got to be thinking, where is Blitzcrank? Where can he hook? And the biggest counter is keeping him in the front of your mind and clicking the other way. So if you can sort of predict those hooks, or even just like a lateral walking around back and forth, not up and down, back and forth, so it's harder for Blitzcrank to land those hooks. I guess missing hooks for Blitzcrank is the biggest counter. But as you were saying before, Volibear will be targeting Cassidy, I think, very much, as well as Kale. But early game Kale is not too bad, I don't think. Not as bad as Cassidy anyway, until they hit 6. Kale, and between ultimates of Kale and Zillion, you have a lot of potential for someone to dive in. And I think that person to dive in will be Godot on Cassidy. So I would expect some kind of Cassidy man-up mode with a Kale ulti and then a Zillion ulti on top of that to try and save him. If they can pull that off, I think they'd be able to do a lot of damage and turn some team fights around, Shiggy.
Yeah, they've just got to make sure that they just don't get constantly poked by this Lux and Jace and MF for that in team fights as well. If they get caught out by that MF ult and funneled into it, they're gonna instantly lose team fights and just get shredded. So they're gonna need to wait, and hopefully Nasus can just get ridiculously strong for them, because he's gonna need to be putting out a ridiculous amount of damage, and Cassidy's gonna need to really position himself well.
As for level 1 power, it looks like level 1 plays, my apology, it looks like the guys from Team Elixir are just going for a sort of standard defend your buffs, whereas the red team are up in that top lane, minus their Zillion, who's gone down and chucked a few wards down to see what's going on. They're sitting that Tri-Brush up top, hoping to maybe catch out Jace, who will more than likely be helping out his Volibear. Oh no, Volibear's over at his red, so probably just be maybe doing walls with Lux, depends. But as you said before, now we've got that nerf, the restriction on the 5 pots. You can see some different things coming out from all these players, including the boots of speed and 3 health potions, Shiggy.
Yeah, I mean, getting those boots of speed, I would probably prefer more sustain or maybe more aggressive early game against a Cassidy, try to shut him down, because when he does get to level 6, he will probably be able to end Lux. But then again, if Volibear does come into gank, Misfortune with those boots of speed may be able to just keep up with the gank and make sure that she doesn't miss any extra damage that might get her that kill.
All right, Jace is going face-checking that brush, forced to flash out of that one. He's got a bomb ticking down on him. Caitlyn's going to push him away, and they're going to steal his red really quickly. It looks like Kale's teleporting bot lane, so it's going to be possibly a lane swap here. Kale will be 1v2ing against Sona Misfortune, and up in that top lane, you're going to have Zillion versus Caitlyn. Now, I think that could be a bad decision for the one-legged bandits, mate, because Jace is quite a good 1v2 laner. He can just sit back and poke.
I think what they're going to try and do as well is try and zone Jace with bombs as well, because they do have a lot of range up top lane with that Caitlyn and Zillion. So they may be able to zone him out from CS better than Kayle will get zoned out by MF and Sona. But I mean, Kayle also does have that sustain from a heal, so she'll be able to maybe max that up and stay in lane and heal, or just I don't know what she'll do, but she's going to have to try and sustain in that lane against 2 people.
That she so doesn't have any wards, so she's very susceptible to ganks right now, especially since the lane is super pushed. Will MF, looks like MF is just last hitting at this stage, so she's not looking at pushing at all. Kale has quite exceptional lane pushing potential though, so I think that's sort of that's what they were going for with Kale going bot. They have just thought, she's good to keep the tower alive as best as possible. And at the moment, she's not really copping too much poke from either of these guys bot lane.
I feel that her being such a pusher as well could be a downfall for her as well, as she doesn't have any vision at the moment. She could get just early ganked, and if she gets behind at all, she's going to be losing lane and losing game for them.
All right, top lane now, though. Volibear going in on that Zilean, and going to have to back out of that one. Jace is fairly low. Caitlyn also very low from a bit of poke, I am assuming, from Jace. So not doing too well, that Caitlyn in lane, being forced to back at this early stage of the game, only having 11 CS. Jace is already beating her in a 1v2 situation, Shiggy.
Yeah, I mean, that Zilean's not offering too much support at the moment, as all he's really doing is putting bombs on the end of minions, trying to see it, trying to zone out.
All right, mid lane now. Lux has got Ignite ticking down onto her. She has forced to chug out a pot. Volibear comes around from the side. Flash from Cassidy does get a first blood. Takes a tower hit there. Volibear takes out the Nasus. Will he collect the double kill? Godot in a bit of trouble here. Misses the slow actually on a Volibear, but Volibear not paying attention. Could have picked himself up 2 kills there. He kind of backed away.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really unlucky. I mean, Lux wanted to go in and get that kill as well, but just Caston just flat, got the last hit on her and just took it away.
Cassidy having that first blood is going to be quite detrimental for Lux. She could be in a bit of trouble here, Shiggy. There's Ruby Crystal and a Sapphire Crystal picked up by Cassidy. Lux has gone back and got herself some ward as well as 2 Fairy Charms. But I think she could be a little bit behind and in trouble. It won't be too long before Cassidy is level 6, and he's going to be able to just jump straight on top of that Lux and get a few kills off.
Yeah, Volibear's going to have to really, really babysit mid lane now as well, and just make sure that they can equalize the lane before Cassidy gets level 6. Otherwise, that Cassidy will probably just be able to take out Lux constantly.
There we go, and pause coming out for us there. First of the game, actually, I was expecting a pause earlier on. Not sure what's going on. So, in terms of junglers, I think the most presence is going to come from Volibear. He has much greater presence, especially ganking power, as opposed to Nasus. He's got the Wither, but he's not really super good CC, whereas Volibear chucks down that Rolling Thunder, comes in, flips you over, and you are in a lot of trouble. That is a fair bit of CC. Even though it is a small flick, I think that Volibear, if he keeps up on these lanes, that he can help this early game snowball into a really good late game, Shiggy.
Yeah, I mean, Nasus is going to struggle because all lanes for Nasus are going to be pushed throughout this game. I mean, Kale's quite a good pusher, even against a 2v1. And Zilean and Caitlyn are just going to be pushing constantly as well. And Lux will, at the moment, be losing lane and just be so scared of that Cassidy. So, also with the range of that of Jace and Lux, he's just not going to be able to get the early ganks or really any early lane presence at all. So he's just going to sit in his jungle and farm. And I mean, Volibear does have really, really good early aggression, so he'll just be able to walk straight into lanes and just make sure he just gets as much presence as he can.
Yeah, no wards up in that top lane, so Volibear is free to gank as he wishes. Zilean just not chucking any wards, or did he just chuck a ward down as I said? Yeah, he did, so he's got 1 ward up there now, so they are covered. Volibear, up in top lane, Caitlyn not doing really that well against Jace. Jace having 29 CS and Caitlyn having 24. This is not really good for the 2v1 situation, although that top tower is very low, Shiggy.
Yeah, the top tower's low, but they're not really zoning out Jace by any means. And I mean, Volibear is at the moment, he's up there as well. So if they overextend at all in this, they may get punished for it.
Yeah, Rob Larcher looking to try and bait him out. There's a bomb down on him. He's falling very low. Caitlyn could be in a bit of trouble. She gets knocked up by the Volibear. Flashes out of that one. Zilean looking to try and kill Jace out of this one. The bomb will go off, but it's not going to be enough damage. Over in the mid lane now, Godot is falling very low under his own tower, forced to use a pot. Still not level 6 though. Luck's doing a good job of poking him down. Nasus is in the area. We see a gank. Top lane though, Jace have forced to be. Volibear is going to be left to defend the lane. Oh, over in mid lane now though. Nasus throws it with it down on the Lux. She flashes over the top of him. A silence from Cassidy just a little bit late on that one. And she will escape just with her life.
Yeah, it's just Nasus being a quite weak early game as well. He's not level 6 either, so that tower diving potential is not there. But yeah, Cassidy being such low health as well just really stopped them being able to kill that Lux.
Yeah, that's it. Top lane though, Vampiric Scepter on Caitlyn. She's doing her best to try and regain some of that health. Jace is returning to the lane very soon though. They are unable to get that tower while Volibear was there. They're going to look for another gank. Volibear is almost full health. They could probably pull this one off if they do get a nice gank. No flash from Volley, and they're going to have to back out of that one.
I'm interested to see how this MF builds as well, because I've been watching a lot of top-end streamers, and they all seem to be building MF, though. The two Bloodthirsters instead of getting that IE. So it's going to be interesting to see whether this MF does that as well for the extra AD damage from her ult instead of the actual extra damage from her wide attack.
Okay, Kayle using her ultimate there for some reason. I'm not sure why, but the Kayle ultimate is down now, so there's easy ganks for those guys. She wasn't even... I think it was a misclick. I think she wasn't even under pressure. So you're saying, sorry, Shiggy, that they actually buy 2 Bloodthirsters. Is that what you said?
Yeah, a lot of MF top end buy 2 Bloodthirsters because it gives you a total higher AD than getting that IE does. So your ulti becomes stronger, but your auto attack becomes slightly weaker.
I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, you get the crit from Infinity Edge, but I guess that her ultimate doesn't crit, so that's the sort of thinking behind that. She's full ultimate. Mid lane now, though. Volibear jumps in the middle of Cassidy and Nasus. She's falling very low. There's the kill. Cassidy actually does fall towards that, down for that Volibear. Nasus just going to walk away from this one.
This is interesting. I mean, personally, I would prefer a Volibear just being ridiculously fed because they are just trading constantly. But then again, Cassidy is just going to be wrecking house on Lux all game now that he just has a 2 kill advantage on her.
There's a crescendo over the top of Kayle. Kayle's falling very low, and the ultimate from Misfortune does eventually get a kill onto her.
Yeah, it was a well-timed engage by that Sona, just making sure that they shut down that Kayle really early, getting that crescendo off, and perfectly timed with that MF ult.
Top lane now, though. Looks like it's going to fall. Jace trying his best to get that one down. He's just going manned up against Zilean. Zilean not throwing a bomb on him, but down over by Dragon. Guys with Team Elixir are looking at doing that one. Wow, Volibear going very low from a silence from Cassidy. Cassidy just flashing away from that one, and Dragon is still alive. They're going to have to back out of this one. Oh, wow, Cassidy actually ulting down onto Misfortune. She's falling very low. We should be able to turn around and kill him. He's got so much health, though. He's got himself a catalyst. He's just going ham down on these guys. 2v1. He's falling very low. He flashes over the wall. And Jace gets a kill up in top lane, though. Nasus is in a lot of trouble right now. Lux gets the kill onto Cassidy over the wall. Well done by her. Nasus forced to use out his ulti. Gets flipped over by Volibear. And he also falls to Sona. GG.
Yeah, it was a very, very good trade by... and bait by that means by Team Elixir, just Volibear just engaging onto that Cassidy and Cassidy getting too greedy for that kill on MF, not really looking at the map, noticing that half their team's missing, and then just got caught out of place and got his Nasus killed as well.
Alright, I would have thought maybe they were going to turn around and do Dragon. There was a few pings out, but I like the decision from Team Elixir to try and take down this mid turret and maybe transition towards Dragon. They are fairly low though. Kayle there trying to defend it. There goes the middle tower for Team Elixir. Cassidy going in onto Volibear. Volibear's in a lot of trouble. Shield from Lux saving him from a bit of damage. The bomb's just going down constantly on Cassidy. He's taking a lot of damage. Kayle puts the ultimate down. Not really needed though. He can just flash away from that one. And Kayle gets stunned by Lux in against all those creeps. And are they going to try and answer this with another tower? There looks like there's 5 members of one-legged bandits. They're just going to go down and do the Dragon.
Yeah, I feel this is going to we may see a MF try and steal this with her ult, and maybe a Lux ult as well to try and steal this dragon.
I hope she does get it. Misfortune's bullet time a little bit too early there. Dragon not falling very low. And there is a smite from Nasus to secure themselves a dragon. Yeah, a little bit slow on those ults there, which is unfortunate. No wards, I guess, kind of made it a bit hard.
I mean, they do have two ults down as well, so the next engage that if they make it like a reasonably fast engage, they won't have that MF or that Lux ult. But then again, that Lux ult only has a 68-second cooldown at level 1, so by the time that they engage in another team fight, it will probably be back up.
Yeah, she does have a fiendish codex, giving her that 10% cooldown reduction, so it'll make her ultimate up even quicker. She can just spam that one around the map. She has gone the Sork Boots instead, though. She didn't pick up the Ionian ones for that cooldown reduction. She's going straight for an Athene's. Whereas Cassidy, he'll be building, guessing a Rod of Ages as well. He's got himself a Tears, trying to build that one up. Nasus has got himself Boots Mobility and an Emblem of Valor. He'll be moving towards an Aegis of the Legion or a Runic Bulwark, whatever. It depends if he upgrades it. I'd say wood with this Lux. What do you reckon?
Yeah, probably. It would be a good buy against this Lux.
Yeah, right. Looks like the lanes of swaps. Misfortune and Sona going top. Kale went top as well. So these guys just followed it. They're wanting to keep it 1v2, hoping that they won't switch it back up. They've done a pretty good job down bot lane and keeping Kale fairly underfarmed. 30 CS behind Misfortune and also 20 CS behind Jace. Wow, Kale falling very low. Forced to head out of the back of that lane, but Cassidy and Nasus are in the area. They are spotted by a blue ward. Everybody's going to be chasing those guys down. There's a flash from Misfortune to try and get away from that Cassidy, but bot lane now, Lux and Volibear pounding down as well as Jace on this second tier bottom turret, Shiggy.
I personally feel that Jace and Lux at the moment would just be able to do so much damage, and they should get this tower down quite easily. I mean, the range that they have is just going to be too hard for Zillion and Caitlyn to sustain under the tower.
Kale now, oh wow, a teleport from her, but Sona used the crescendo over the top. She used that teleport right in the middle of the lane. Not very well done by her. She gets bullet time and throws her ultimate down. Well done by Sona on that crescendo.
Yeah, it was just unlucky that Cassidy got down, stopped them actually taking out that tower.
But top lane will probably fall. A lot of members for the one-legged bandits around that bot lane. Nasus trying to pound down this middle turret in exchange, but Volibear and Lux are there. How low is that middle turret? There's a lot of ranged minions pounding down on it. Nasus is just going to walk away from this one. And there goes that top tower, Shiggy.
Yeah, the turret advantage is already 3-1 in Team Elixir's favour, so they are getting this early advantage and just showing that they're going to be a hard team to beat, especially with their team fight combo as well. So it's going to be, I feel, really, really difficult for one-legged bandits to get back in this game unless they catch Team Elixir out in certain positions.
Very true. They'll need to pick up a few more dragons to try and get back that gold lead, which Team Elixir have now. It is 6-2 in kills for Team Elixir. They also have 3 towers compared to the one-legged bandits 1, and they are up about 2k gold at 15 minutes in the game. Not doing too badly at all. And they're hoping maybe trying to get a few more towers out of this one. The next dragon as well. So only one ward on the map for the one-legged bandits at the moment, Shiggy.
Yeah, they've been lacking in ward coverage all game. I mean, I don't think Kale at all has warded in her lane, and just, I mean, she's been lucky to be able to get away with only dying once and not really dying in lane too much at all. So she's done really well to actually survive without warding and just using that money to just build her items to get to endgame.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and
sorry man, go ahead.
No, you're right, dude. It could be possible though that Misfortune is building those 2 Bloodthirsters, as you did say. She's got herself a Vamp Scepter as well as a Bloodthirster. Jace jumping over the wall, almost killing that Zillion. He's just going to back away from that one. That was a nice play from him. Oh, Caitlyn just going down a little bit on top of Jace as well in that bot lane, but so much pressure around the map from Team Elixir, Shiggy.
Yeah, I mean, well, Jace is being able to take on Zillion and Caitlyn by himself, so that just gives the rest of their team just to be able to go around, push towers, push lanes, and be able to 4v3 them all day.
Yeah, very true indeed. It looks like Volibear's got himself an Emblem of Valor. He'll be going for the Runic Pool Walk as well. Let's have a look at the CS though. CS fairly even for our ADCs, but Lux a little bit ahead of Cassidon. NASA's doing pretty well actually up against the Volibear, but Volibear does have 2 kills ahead of Nasus, who only has 2 deaths. So Volibear actually a little bit ahead in the gold. Only by 200 gold though, so not really that far ahead. And Jace is doing pretty well, 110 CS to Kale's 92 CS, so she's not doing too badly either. But the gold's fairly close right now. A team fight could turn this game around, and Dragon looks like could be up soon. Volibear going to go down on top of the Zillion, gets a flip over, gets bomb thrown down on him. Jace, a huge amount of poke from both those teams. Zillion forced to use the ultimate on himself. He will die. Will they be able to secure a kill from that one? Wasted the Zillion ulti. And there's ultimate from Lux, and wow, a Jace Q comes over the top and pick up the kill. That poke composition working out for the Team Elixir.
Yeah, I reckon one-legged bandits are just going to struggle with that all day. I mean, they get caught out, they engage wrong, they get literally kited constantly. They don't have the team comp to be able to take out this team at the moment. I mean, Volibear also can engage at any point, and I reckon they'll win team fights from that. So they're going to really need to catch them out, maybe split the lanes up and split this team away from each other.
Cassidon though, if you use these ultimate flashes there, he's going to just ultimate over the wall. Lux trying to get a stun on him. Nasus is there. I nearly said Nassadin. And he throws the wither onto Lux and forces that disengage.
I mean, Kayle as well is just constantly split pushing, trying to get her CS up, but really hasn't been too useful in any sort of team fight so far. And also forcing that Zillion to use his ult on himself is just such a devastating use of his ult, as you'd rather want to be using it on your Cassidon or on your Caitlyn to try and save their lives and keep them alive for as long as possible.
That's right, and one-legged bandits just looking to try and get towards that late game stage where they're going to have a Kayle Beast, Cassidon and Caitlyn Beast, as well as Nasus. So Team Elixir having to try and finish this one early, I think, before their late game champions for the one-legged bandits do get fed and do get to the stage where they are doing huge amounts of damage and surviving the team fights.
Well, for me, as long as Team Elixir, they just focus on their positioning. I mean, they keep this warding up, they're not going to get caught out too well, and if they can just constantly poke away at this team and then engage when they choose to, one-legged bandits are really, I don't see them winning team fights at all in this game if Team Elixir keep up what they've been doing so far.
That's right, some good positioning from Sona and Misfortune with well-timed ults could end the lives of one-legged bandits so quickly they wouldn't even know what is going on. Zillion ultimate would not save them in that situation. Jace just going down on Caitlyn. Caitlyn uses a Caliber net there. Jace flashing forward, trying to get the engage. Zillion is there to back up Caitlyn. There's a wither from Nasus coming around the side. He's falling fairly low. He could be in a lot of trouble. Stands on a trap and he is gone. Wow, and over in top lane though, Cassidon picking up a kill on Misfortune. Kayle and Cassidon both working together to secure that one. And a bit of lane map control switched around. Volibear coming around the back though, going to try and get a grab onto Kayle. Kayle gets a slow, but she does get thrown up as well. The only person there to do damage really is Sona. There's an ultimate from Kayle, and she uses the ultimate crescendo over the top as she tries to teleport away, and Lux picks up the kill.
Yeah, Lux has been doing really, really well with her crescendos. Actually, that's twice she's stopped that teleport from Kayle. So really good work by Lux there. But if you're looking at the wards, Sona, sorry, not Lux. If you look at the ward coverage, I mean, just before half the wards actually ran out, it was 8 wards to 3, and it's showing in this game. I mean, Jace did get caught out there, but I think it was just because he got slightly greedy. I mean, he would have seen that Nasus coming, and I think he just didn't back away in time. But apart from that, they've just been so good with their movement. not really getting caught out too much.
Alright, second tier top turret falling for Team Elixir, but it looks like this mid turret will also go down. Over in the bot lane though, Jace going 1v3 here against Caitlyn, Nasus and Zillion again, and there's not a very good story for him. But Cassidy could be in a bit of trouble here. Volibear has spotted him. I don't think it's going to be too much for him to just flash towards the rest of his team, who are also very low. There could be an engage here. Kayle forced up in that top lane, and she's already gone fairly low from the poke from Lux.
Well, what one-legged bandits are doing right now is they're splitting up a lot and making sure that Team Elixir have to split as well and trying to get their poke combo away from them, which is working out really, really well for them in this late stage of the game. But I feel oh god, sorry about that. Team Elixir really just need to stay as a team and just constantly push. And I mean, they'll be able to poke for days under the enemy turrets as well. So they've just got real no pressure if they just team fight and just go all in for these turrets and just push for the win.
Yeah, which they can do. Dragon will not be far away. Wards for Baron going down. That'll be the next point of contention, I think. Everyone's starting to look at it. The big team fights now grouping up, trying to get a few team fights, take down that Baron, get that extra buff, and go and get some objectives. But speaking of objectives, it is 5-3 in favour of Team Elixir. They're doing really well. Two tier 2 turrets and the 3 tier 1 turrets is quite an amount of gold, but they are only still ahead 2.2k. So Dragon helping out with that one for the one-legged bandits. Zillion just missing a bit of poke there from Lux. Could have got stunned and been in a bit of trouble. But it's all good. Let's talk about these builds though, Shiggy.
Yeah, well, as you were saying, I mean, MF is definitely going for those two bloodthirsters. So we're going to see that be built really, really soon, as she does have the money now to be able to complete those. So as soon as she's going to be picking up those two bloodthirsters.
Yeah, it's a good call, man.
Kayle building... I haven't seen actual Kayle be played AD attack speed much recently, but...
Oh, Cassidy going in the middle of him, taking a fair bit of poke. The Kayle ultimate on him is kind of wasted. Crescendo over the top as well as Bullet Time doing so much damage. Nasus in the middle there, picking up a kill. Lux actually falls as well as Jace. Misfortune is around. Flashes from everybody. Volibear was nowhere to be found. He's at the back, and a double kill for Caitlyn. That was a 4-for-1 trade for the one-legged bandits.
Yeah, I must say I wasn't expecting that. They got caught out just pushing too hard without Volibear, and I mean, Volibear does have a lot of damage and presence in team fights, being able to just focus and just irritate one person as much as possible. I mean, Kayle in that team fight as well just melted people with her just AoE damage, and they all got clumped and just caught out. So,
well, everyone actually bailing from that dragon fight. Volibear forcing them to leave 1v5. He knew that they'd, if he poked around, he was going to try and do a Baron steal, but they were not risking it. So one-legged bandits only gaining that last team fight as the advantage and not picking up any objectives at all, which is unfortunate. Oh wow, Volibear falling very low. Will Baron actually take him down the far out? The Lux has thrown down her shield, and Caitlyn used her ultimate. Lux jumped in the way of that one. Wow, a really nice Lux ultimate over the top, taking down that Caitlyn. This could be the turn that Team Elixir did need. Will they go and take down Baron now?
Well, Volibear did waste his ult from getting constantly poked by them there, so...
His passive, you mean?
Oh god, I'm just not thinking too clearly today, sorry, but yeah, his passive. So he won't be able to tank this too much, so they're going to have to rely, and hopefully they won't get engaged on.
Cassidy jumps in the middle with a Kayle ultimate on top of her, doing a lot of damage. Volibear falling very low. This could be big trouble for Team Elixir. Jace at the back doing so much poke. Cassidy forced out of the back of that one. No deaths yet. There is Sona trying to get the attention of everyone. There is a bomb onto her, and she is gone. Let's just pick up the kill on there. Although over in the back now, Misfortune, she is over there with... Oh wow, she just picked up a really nice kill, a shutdown onto the Cassidy. She could be in trouble. Volibear going in, flashes over the wall. There's a nice bullet time over the top, picking up Kayle for a double kill. And now it is just Nasus versus Misfortune, and Nasus is in a lot of trouble. Nasus has so much health. Caitlyn is also there, and a double kill for him.
I mean, that was really well. They're playing really well at the moment, one-legged bandits, and they are catching out Team Elixir constantly, which is changing this game so severe. I mean, the gold is now complete, like, dead even for both teams, so one-legged bandits just doing so well to get back into this game and trying not to make any more mistakes.
Yeah, very true. It is now 14 to 13 kills. One-legged bandits gaining that lead. They've also got themselves the gold lead, but the towers tell a different story. Baron is still up. Dragon is up. There is Sona just going to go over there and chuck a ward down in the brush. Will she go ward Dragon? She probably doesn't even think it's up at this stage. But it is alive. And maybe a team fight there next. Maybe another Baron attempt from either team will be the next team fight we see. Runic Bulwark finished on both the junglers, and Locket of the Iron Solari on Volibear also being completed. And Spirit of the Ancient Golem on that Nasus, making him very, very tanky. Rod of Ages for Cassidy, pretty standard for him. He's still got that tier, hasn't upgraded it yet. And there is the Dragon attempt, Shiggy, and we'll take that down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when Team Elixir are actually going to choose their team fight and actually position themselves right, because they just constantly getting caught out in these team fights, and it's actually slowly losing them this game.
Here we go, caught out again. Volibear in the middle of them, taking so much damage. And invulnerable, Cassidy being touched by that Kayle ulti. Now the crescendo over the top of all the guys. There's a nice bullet time from Misfortune. Takes down Kayle, eventually does fall. Cassidy in a lot of trouble though. He's been chased out of the back. Meanwhile, Caitlyn takes down the Volibear. Jace is full health, Sona's full health, as well as Misfortune. They're going to chase this one down. Team Elixir really have the advantage here. Cassidy has not died. There's the poke from Jace, taking them down. Will they be able to get a turret exhaust from Zilean? Forces them to back out of that one. Although here comes Cassidy. He's got himself full health again. He's gone B. And the second tier turret falling for that mid lane.
Well, if you did see in that team fight as well, I mean, Zilean used his ult on Nasus, which pretty much saved Nasus' life and just made him do a ridiculous amount of damage and in that team fight and just be a complete hassle to their team. But that being said, they did focus at Volibear and ended up killing the Volibear, but it did cost them.
All right, Sona caught out now. She was trying to beat, she's dead. There's no point even fighting. She can't even juke this one. She is completely dead.
Would have been nice to see that Zilean Bob get a kill, actually. I would have enjoyed that, but maybe not. Cassidy getting a bit greedy.
Need to feed that Cassidy. He's already 6 and 3 kills. He's got himself a Rod of Ages. He'll be going back soon and picking up his next item. Caitlyn got herself a Blade of the Ruined King as well as a Bloodthirster fully stacked up. She is pretty beast right now. Misfortune having 2 Bloodthirsters, not doing too badly herself. And Baron has been pink warded by the one-legged bandits. And Lux ultimate over the top, doing a fair bit of damage to Caitlyn, just sort of poking in and around. She has got a fairly low cooldown on that one now. Another 30 seconds and it will be back up. Cassidy, though, going in on top of Lux, missing that binding. And I think we might see a Baron attempt from the one-legged bandits, maybe not.
I feel the one-legged bandits, they won't be able to do a Baron with Team Elixir alive because they'll just get poked underneath Baron and then they'll get engaged at the wrong time. They need to just make sure they keep the lead that they actually have and wait for one-legged bandits to overextend and get caught out, which they have done within the last 10 minutes quite a few times. So just really for them it's just the waiting game.
Yeah, Volibear actually in trying to engage that last team fight, and his Rolling Thunder just ran out, and one-legged bandit said, yep, let's go now. They went down and did a fairly good job of engaging that team fight, but in the end I think it was the Team Elixir came out on top of that one. Now, Kayle is top lane. They're looking to maybe try and sneak themselves a tier 3 turret, that next inhibitor turret. Volibear at the front, taking a bit of poke from Caitlyn. Jace around the back, throwing out some more poke as well from that shock blast. Does so much damage now. He's got a pretty strong build. He got himself a Bloodthirst, a Last Whisper, and a Brutalizer, as well as a tier for that extra mana.
Yeah, man, that Last Whisper, he's just going to ignore half the armor from that Nasus, so he'll be shredding Nasus quite a lot in team
All right,
fights
and
when
now
he
they have
fires
engaged,
it.
and Misfortune has thrown a bullet time across the top of them. Nasus at the back, just focusing down that Misfortune. He will eventually fall, though. Everybody has peeled for him. Nasus and Cassidy both dying. Jay's doing a good job of taking down that Cassidy over the back line, and this could be big trouble for the one-legged bandits.
Yeah, they're focusing. They're spending a lot of time like damage dealers are spending a lot of time just trying to focus on that volley bear, and focusing a volley bear, as everyone knows, is probably not the best idea in a team fight when you can spend more than just Nasus getting onto that MF and trying to blow him down. I mean, not many people then in that team fight could get onto Lux, and Lux was just able to pretty much free fire at the back, and MF was pretty much just there 1v1ing Nasus, just being able to lifesteal and sustain, and then the rest of it after like Jace took out Cassidy pretty much 1v1, he went with Volley Bear and pretty much helped kill Nasus as well. So they really need to get onto that MF and Lux and just burn them down as fast as they can. I mean, Jace as well, just they need to focus fire these champions instead of trying to take them on one by one.
Yeah, the problem with trying to focus those guys is there is a front line of a volley bear around, chucking you around, and Sona's crescendo to keep you in position as they do get to dish out all the damage. And wards back around Baron. Everybody looking at trying to defend their Baron. They want that. The next team fight, that will be the game changer for sure. And most of the team members up in that top lane, I think we will see the next team fight. They're going to try and siege. They have really good sieging power, Team Elixir do, especially with Jace, Misfortune, and the Lux. They can do a fair bit of poke. Keep the waves cleared, Chiggy.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, if they choose the right engagement, they'll win hands down. If they get caught out, though, then it's anybody's game. So it's just depending on how they decide to play, whether they just try and go for the win or actually try and make sure they have the vision of the game and catch a few people out and then fully engage.
Yeah, that's it. Poking back and forth. Caitlyn is already fairly low. She just used a few minions to get herself up. Will we see Kale ultimate down onto Cassidy again and do the same old trick of throwing him in there? And maybe Zillion will get his ulti off this time. We will have to see Caitlyn in a little bit out of position, taking a fair bit of poke there. Lux ultimate across the top, doesn't hit anybody. She throws out a big LOL in chat. Everybody having a good laugh at that awesome Lux ulti. All right, so the next, just basically defending, waiting for someone to engage here, Shiggy. All right, there we go. There's the engage from Cassidy. Ultimate from Kale on top of her. Lux is falling very low. Ignite ticking away on her. Misfortune in the back, though, trying to take down this Cassidy. Cassidy in a bit of trouble. Nasus has gone over as well. He's gone down onto Sona. Everybody's focusing that back line so hard. Volibear is around the back. So much lifesteal from MF. She does eventually fall to Nasus. Could not handle it. Jace and Volibear, the only ones alive right now. He's trying furiously to take down this Cassidy. He forced out the flash, but he's just going to get kited around with all these slows. Jace is at the back. Will he be able to kill? These guys are so low right now. Oh my god. Volibear does pick up the kill onto Kale. Ultimate from, what's his name? Zillion actually saving the Cassidy there, and the bomb will eventually take down Volibear, and there is the ace.
Yeah, well, they saw that Volibear had split away from their Lux and MF, and Cassidy engaged on top of them with Nasus at the right time and just easy melted that Lux. And without Lux in a team fight, they just got caught running, like constantly trying to flee, and trying to flee when you got Nasus with you on you is probably not the best thing you can possibly be doing, and they just all got melted. I mean, one-legged bandits did really well there to focus down that Lux and took her out, really, really fast. So if they can keep that up, then they can turn this game around. Well, they've already turned the game around. They can keep it up, and they can actually pull this game.
Yeah, a couple of big items for the one-legged bandits being picked up there. Got him. The Kale has picked up a Bloodthirster. Zillion's got himself a Rabadon's Death Cap and a Sunfire Cape on Nasus. So the bomb's going to be doing a little bit of damage there. Kale going full AD build. She's got a Phantom Dancer, a Bloodthirster, pickaxe, as well as a Doran's Blade. So she's pretty much got 0 AP. Yep, 0 AP as far as I can tell. Yep, 0. and she's got teleport up. Everybody's up at the moment, sort of a lull in the battle. The next team fight will be definitely the game changer. Well, the game ender possibly. Dragon is up. Looks like Team Elixir will move into position for that one. So, Nasus, man, is very tanky right now, Shiggy.
Yeah, NASA's doing a really, really good job to just harass and destroy with his Q constantly. He's just playing really, really strong. I mean, he played really passive early game, but it's paid off now that his Q farmed in 164 CS and just tanky as old balls. So you can't really complain with how passive he played earlier. I mean, he set himself up late game, and he's going to be really, really hard to handle in this game.
Yeah, there is more big items for the one-legged Bandits. Cassidy going straight down on Lux. Lux is in a lot of trouble, forced to flash out of the back of that one. There's a nice light blinding. She does survive that team fight. There's a huge bullet time across all team members of the one-legged Bandits. A double kill for Volibear. Nasus does fall. Caitlyn has fallen as well. Sona picks up the kill on to Nasus, and a really nice team fight from Team Elixir.
And that game, but I mean, that was a really, really good engage by that Cassidy. It was just unlucky that she didn't actually get the Lux. She got the KO on Cassidy as well, but Lux ended up just getting away, getting caught by a bind, and then final sparked out of quarterfinal spark in the face. So there wasn't much Cassidy could do after that. And as soon as Cassidy went down, really they didn't have much apart from their Nasus trying to just sit there and melt that MF, which didn't really work too well because he just got sort of carted around the place. But apart from that, it was a really, really, more than I thought, intensely close game.
It was a really good game. I thought that the guys from One-Legged Bandits could turn it around, but a really lucky Lux getting that Cassidy locked down, and a nice bullet time from Misfortune at the end, also picking up a lot of damage and a few kills there. So well played by Team Elixir, taking away this one. It is a best of one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a Team Down TV coverage of the CGO ladder. My name is Menace. Anything you want to say, Cyanide? I'm joined by Shiggy, by the way. I forgot to say Shiggy. Cyanide, you got anything to say, mate?
The only thing I really want to say is for a CGO match, that one was pretty exciting. It wasn't too bad. It was fairly well balanced throughout, considering how we thought it was going to go initially. So that was a good game to watch.
Yeah, that was. And that about wraps it up for tonight, guys. Make sure you do go over Facebook and give us a like, follow button down below if you are new here. We will bring you more of the Cybergamer ladder as it comes out. Thank you very much. My name is Menace, joined by Shiggy and Cyanide. We will see you guys next time.